Hey friends, my name is Bill Adams. I'm the director of the SFOI Evangelism Boot Camp. I want to share a couple details about myself that you might trying to get comfortable together, even through this audio video system we've got here these days, and tell you why the boot camp is organized like it is. So the Lord called me, in essence, into full-time evangelistic working at the end of 2000. This is my 25th year of doing this. And evangelism, my home back then was Atlanta, Georgia. And was the Lord's taught me how to find people. How do I find people to hear the gospel when you never tried before, never thought about it much before? Now I'm a guy that's raised in the church. I didn't say I was saved all the time, but that's when you're raised in the church and church is all you know. Then, hey Lord, where do we find these people? Don't we bring them in the church? And so what the Lord did is say, I'm going to show you where they're at. And our day, they turned out to be at Atlanta Falcons games, NBA Hawks games, at concerts at Phillips Arena, at festivals at Piedmont Park and Centennial Park, and events up at Lenox Square, Lenox Mall, July the 4th festivities, UGA games. And that's how it all started, all day, every day. Back then, the early part of the century, the business was really booming down there at the Georgia World Conference Center. And that business, I did down there preaching and evangelizing as well. So it's busy. I was out all the time, really from sun up to sundown, and just going as hard as possible. And that's how it started for me. And then the Lord led me to, now I can say that I've been to every Western country. I've been there preaching, and I've led teams in these countries as well. So I've been all over the world, in a sense of the Western world. That means the English-speaking Western Europe world. Been to Germany and France and Italy and so forth. And so I think the Lord's given me a lot of experience here. And in that experience, I see there's really three fundamental things that an evangelist has to confront, shall we say, and become to do this kind of work. And that's why we're teaching it at the boot camp. One, you have to be physically fit. This is a game of physical endurance. When you're out at least 4 hours a day or 7 or 8 hours a day, which is what we do on our mission trips, you've got to be fit. You've got to have the energy to evangelize, to talk to people, to preach, to pass out tracts, to pray. We get up early. We're like the Super Bowl, we were up at 7 a.m. and we got back at 8 p.m. You've got to be physically in shape. You've got to be a good steward of your body, and that's one reason it's like that. You just can't pull up lame halfway through and say, you know, I've got to quit because I mean, you see my point. So we're going to teach that. It's going to be a rigorous time every morning. We're going to break a sweat at least break a sweat, if not more, and to train us in physical fitness, and also training some activities you can do on your own without going to the gym. Two, spiritual discipline of prayer. It's a must. Right there, really in the urban setting, a city setting, a concert setting. That means you've got a lot of people around you, from the fans, the concert goers, to local citizens, to the authorities, people selling all kinds of stuff. I mean, you got to be ready. You've got to be prayed. You have to be a man of prayer to preach the word, and you've got to be a man of prayer to interact with people as they come up, to resist things that come at you and so forth. You've got to be a disciplined man of prayer, no question. It's not a religious thing we're promoting. It's a practical work. The Lord woke me up in really the early part of summer 2002 and began to teach me to pray. He woke me up at 4 a.m. and said, hey, I'm gonna get you to do this. And I started praying 3 hours a day. I certainly against my will early on, but still doing it today. And it really has made the prayer life the Lord taught me to have is the most dramatic thing that happened to me, and the most important part of this work. So you lay the foundation through prayer, and then you come up and take that foundation into the Word, which is the third point. Knowing the Bible, knowing the fundamentals of the Bible is really important for the evangelist. What are the books of the Bible? What are they telling us from Genesis to Revelation? The prophets, who are they and what are they saying? The covenants, what are they and what are the details? Jesus Christ, who is He? What are the details of His life and what did He come to do? The fundamentals, you're out there every day dealing in the fundamental realm, and that's kind of the work of the evangelist. The cross of Christ, in essence, is our constant message, which we repeat over and over. So you have to have this continued renewal, interest in, and desire to know the fundamentals of the Bible. And so that's why we're teaching a Bible survey. And all those three things, physically fit, spiritually disciplined, and general knowing the fundamentals of the Bible, is what you need to get in this work and bring that resolve to go preach Christ to sinners. And that's why the program is like it is. You know, you've got to have an understanding. This is the dedicated work when you're out every day, and you're out proclaiming Christ every day, ministering to people. The good side, in a sense, after you sort of can get confronted with the resolve that's necessary, is the joy of it, the joy of interacting with people, the joy of fellowshipping with other men who evangelize. The upside is exponential that you don't see when someone says, hey, let's go evangelize at the Falcons game. You're sitting on the couch, you go, I don't really think I want to do that. The joy of it, you can't contemplate it while you're not in it. The joy and knowing the Lord better. I think every man that's evangelized and persevered through the resistance to quit and so forth knows the Lord better, without question. We know the word better. You have to, in essence. And so, but the fundamentals of getting started is what we're teaching at the boot camp. So I'm looking, if that's you, you're a man of discipline, and this is what you want to do, then this is for you. If you want to become that kind of man, then this is for you as well. If you know someone either like that or someone wants to become that and do this work, that's who this is for. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's designed to be a rigorous week, but when you get into the rigors of life, both in discipline, physical effort, spiritual effort, rigors of knowing the Word of God, I think you find a great satisfaction, contentment, joy, and delight. There's something in us that really wants that, craves that, but we've got to create an environment so we can get into that depth of that commitment and the depth of that work, and that's what is going on at the boot camp. So please send me some messages. If you got any questions, call me or text me, 423-724-7500. I'd love to chat with you. Thanks so much for your time. Bye-bye.